Scroll number 1. I pay myself before I pay anyone else. The man who first told you to pay yourself wrote the words on a pamphlet and gave it away for free. He did not sell the wisdom. He handed it to banks and insurance companies and let them distribute it to their customers at no charge. The pamphlets spread across the country. The institutions that handed them out are gone. The wisdom is still here. That man was George Clason. He was not a banker. He was not a financial expert. He was a businessman who had watched money disappear and decided to understand why. What he understood, he wrote down. What he wrote down outlasted everything built around it. The first thing he understood was this: most men pay everyone else first. They pay the landlord. They pay the merchant. They pay the tailor. They pay for every comfort, every obligation, every demand that arrives with the month. When all of that is done, they look at what is left and call it theirs. But there is rarely anything left, and so they work another week and do it again. They earn well and keep nothing. They work hard and finish empty. They tell themselves that next month will be different. Next month is never different. The pattern does not change until the order changes. I know this pattern. I have lived inside it. I have paid everyone first and hoped something would remain at the end. It never did. The expenses always grew to meet the income. The desires always found a way to consume what the work produced. I worked and paid and worked and paid, and at the end of each month I had what I started with. Nothing saved, nothing set aside, nothing that was truly mine. I pay myself before I pay anyone else. This is not a suggestion. It is the first law. 1 coin from every 10 belongs to me before any other claim is made. Not 9, not 8. 1 taken first. Set aside before the landlord is considered, before the merchant is paid, before any other hand reaches in. The 10 coins arrive, and the first thing that happens is that one of them goes to me. Everything else divides what remains. Clason called it the cure for a lean purse. Arkad, the richest man in Babylon, learned it from a money lender who had grown old watching men earn fortunes and keep nothing. The money lender said it plainly: a part of all you earn is yours to keep. That is the whole of it. Not most of it, not all of it. A part. Taken first every time without exception. Everything else in the life of a wealthy man grows from that single habit, practiced without interruption. Then I made one change. Before anything left my hands, I kept 1 part in 10. I did not ask permission. I did not wait until the bills were settled. I did not tell myself I would start next month when things were easier. I took my part first and then arranged everything else around what remained. The strange thing is that everything still got paid. The 9 parts were enough. They had always been enough. I had simply never tested them. The purse began to change. Not quickly, not dramatically, but the weight of it shifted. There was something in it that was mine, that no bill could touch and no merchant could claim. I noticed the difference not just in the purse but in the way I moved through each day. A man with something set aside carries himself differently than a man with nothing. There is a steadiness in it, a quiet confidence that has nothing to do with how much is there and everything to do with the fact that something is. That steadiness changes how you think. It changes what you are willing to accept and what you refuse. Most men wait for a surplus before they start saving. The surplus never comes. The expenses rise to meet every raise. The desires expand to fill every bonus. There is always a reason why this month is the wrong month to begin. I know every one of those reasons. I used them for years. None of them were true. They were comfortable. Comfort and truth are not the same thing. I pay myself before I pay anyone else. This is the change that changes everything else. Not because the amount is large. It is not large at first. 1 coin from 10 is small. But the habit is not small. The habit says that I come first. It says that my future is not an afterthought. It says that before the world takes its share, I take mine. That decision, made once and kept every time, is the beginning of every fortune that has ever been built from nothing. The act of paying yourself first is not about the amount. It is about the order. The man who saves what is left saves nothing, because nothing is ever left. The man who saves first and lives on the rest trains every part of his life to work within that boundary. The boundary is not a restriction. It is the structure inside which wealth becomes possible. Without it, every raise produces more spending. Every bonus disappears. Every good month is followed by an empty one. The pattern continues until the order changes. I have changed the order. That is the whole of it. One decision made clearly, kept without negotiation. The coin goes to me first, not to the landlord, not to the merchant, not to the desire that felt urgent this morning and will be forgotten by next week. To me, first, before anyone else makes a claim. I pay myself before I pay anyone else. That choice is now. I do not wait to see what is left. I take my part first. I take it before the week spends it, before the month consumes it, before the desires find it and quietly call it theirs. 1 coin from every 10 is mine. It goes aside before anything else moves. I do not negotiate this. I do not borrow from it. I do not ask it to wait until next month is easier. This is the first wall I build, not the highest wall, not the last wall, but the first. And without the first wall, nothing else stands. I do not wait to see what is left. I take my part first every time before anyone else is paid, before any bill is settled, before any desire is satisfied. The first coin is mine. It was always mine. I simply did not claim it. Say this until it is not a thought anymore. Say it until it is the thing you do without thinking. Say it until the order is so fixed inside you that paying yourself any other way feels wrong. The pattern does not change by wishing it would. It changes because you change the order. 1 coin kept first every single time. I claim it now. I build with it now, not next month, not when things settle, but now, today, with this decision. I pay myself before I pay anyone else. I pay myself before I pay anyone else. I pay myself before I pay anyone else.